That's exactly right. Yes!
Yes!
Ow!
We went out to dinner with each other last night.
Yeah, we had dinner last night.
dinner together.
You bought me a meatball.
I paid the bill, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. I thought I was going to pay for it, but...
No, next time, mate, next time.
Sir Rod, welcome back to the program. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you here. You have a new album out. Jules Holland, this is your first time on the show, and it is an honor and a pleasure to have you on. I'm a fan of your music. I mean, Squeeze. Also, you're the host of one of the longest-running music shows on TV, Later with Jules Holland. Congrats on 63 seasons, by the way.
I started when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, of course you did, yeah. You both look amazing, by the way, and fantastic.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Swing Fever. Tell me about this. How did it come to be? Who called who?
I was trying to make this album with another band
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, but it wasn't working out too good. It was a bit too smooth, a bit too, I don't know, didn't have any rock edge to it.
Yeah.
So I was looking for somebody, and of course I found Jules, who I've not known really well, but known of him. And I called him up, and you take the story from there, Jules.
Yeah, so, thank you. So I was, just before Christmas, I was making my preparations, you know, getting the cigars and the brandy for the children and everything. The phone rings, and... the phone rings, and it's Rod Stewart here. Oh, yeah, hello. Just ringing to wish you a happy Christmas. And I thought it was one of those, like, scam or joke calls, you know.
Yeah, it's like a radio
so I said,
show.
oh, thanks very much. She said, and anyway, do you want to do a record with me next year? So I said, yeah, please. It's great. Well, I'll call you next year and put the phone down. I thought, is that real? Can he really have rung me? But it was. He really
Do
had.
you cold call people? I feel like you have someone call for you.
No. This particular time I wanted to call him personally.
Yes.
But his wife, he told his wife, and she said, have you been drinking?
Yeah, she said, all right then, of course. I said, Rod's just rang me and said, do you want to do a record? Of course he has, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Sure, honey, yeah.
But then we met, I went round to Rod's house, and what he said to me was that he wanted something that was a little bit rough around the edges and a bit sort of not too slick. Come to exactly the right man.
You do some classics on here, and I love anything with, like we were saying, like with the swing, with the boogie woogie, with the, you know. Tonight you're going to be doing Almost Like Being in Love. Almost Like Being in Love. But I will say, Ain't Misbehaving is also online right now, and it is fantastic. Your rendition. It is moving, it's jumping, it makes people dance and get up. I've got to say that Lullaby of Broadway, which is the first track on this album, that moves as well. Everything jumps on this album. But are those real tap dancers on there?
Yeah. It's a wonderful old song. Come on along and listen to
the Lullaby of Broadway. Liberty and Ballyhoo, the Lullaby of Broadway. Come on, that's how you do it. I start tapping now.
My man!
I'm on the roots of the best.
So, yeah, it was the first song that we recorded. And, of course, it's Busby Berkeley.
Yeah.
And you remember those wonderful movies, what were they called?
Gold Diggers of
the
1930s.
Gold Diggers of 1930s, and had all these tap dancers. So when we recorded it, I said to Jules, leave a little gap, I want something in there, surprise, and you tell the story, Jules.
Yeah, so he said leave a little gap for tap dancers. So it was the first track we recorded. I also have to say I was a bit worried because Rod said, we did this Lullaby Broadway, we got a rock around the clock drum part and a sort of a boogie bass part, but I thought, is this what he means? When he came, he was dancing. I thought, that's it. No words were necessary. The dance told me everything was going to be all right.
Yeah.
But then he said, we need tap dancers here. So I said, oh, well, yeah, well, we can put them in on the studio. Afterwards, we can get sort of somebody to synthesise that. He said, I don't want any of this synthesised nonsense.
Yes.
I want tap dancers.
That's exactly right. He's Sir Rod Stewart. That's exactly right.
You weren't there. You could have helped us.
I didn't know. So you recently gave a surprise performance for some of these songs in London in a train station.
Yeah.
Which I thought is very cool because didn't you busk in a train station when you were first discovered?
Yeah, I used to be a busker. I busked all over Paris and Spain. But this particular night, it was a rush hour.
Yes.
Really, wasn't it? We set up, 18-piece band, and we just started playing. Are you going to show the video?
No.
Oh, boy.
I don't think we have, but yeah, I wish. I wish.
I'm so disappointed.
Why have a video? Why have a video when we have you live in studio? No, I'm not going to show a video. We'll show a clip from Tracy Ellis Ross's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Smoke.
Let me just imagine it. You're in the train station with an 18-piece band.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we just turned up and played, in more or less the rush hour.
Did you get in trouble?
No, not at all.
No,
We
they
didn't
loved
get
it.
permission. We were supposed to get permission from the police, but as I'm a knight of the realm, I think they overlooked it.
I feel like you two can get in a lot of trouble together.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
think
could,
you
yeah.
could. He leads me on. It's never my fault.
Isn't there? No. Did you, Jules, did you ever busk at all?
Well, of course, early on, Squeeze used to go and bust, but I had a piano, and in those days, you couldn't get little keyboards and stuff.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go.
Piano's not a good busking instrument,
But what
no.
I would do would be bowling into a pub where there was a piano, start playing it, bring friends, and then the bloke who had the pub would say, well, come back next week and we'll give you £5, you know, and that's how it all starts, yeah.
Don't you have a story where you played with U2?
Well, yes. So early on in the days of punk, when Squeeze first came in, we played at CBGB's, and we played a little pub in Islington in London called the Anchor and Hope, and with U2. It was a double bill.
Yeah.
And with a bill like that, we actually managed to sell about 7 tickets. And
Congratulations.
And they were there, and all those they came in and had a look, and they left. And there was a man and a dog. This is a bit we'll remember. And the man was looking, and then he left. And so it was just you two looking at us, or us looking at you two, and then the dog left. That's how I started in show business.
That's a great show business story. Rod, when you do a swing, I know you're doing swing, but you're a rock star. You can't take the rock and roll out of this.
We can't take the rock and roll out of swing either. There's a connection.
That's right.
There really is. I mean, rock and roll, I think, came out of swing music. 2 of the tracks on there...
Good Rocking Tonight.
Good Rocking Tonight.
Night Train.
Night Train are sort of rock and roll tracks.
Yeah.
The two are so closely connected.
And do you like doing this? Do you like doing
I love it, mate. I love the rock and roll too, but you know, God has given me a voice where I can sing this stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not just stuck with singing Hot Legs, Maggie May, and you think I'm sexy.
Which you are.
What you are sexy.
Yeah. But I do feel what Rod's saying is right, but I think it's not so much the words, whether you call it rock and roll or swing or ska or whatever it is, it's the way the music makes you feel. Yeah. And this definitely has a great joy. And the reason it has a joy is because I've never made a record like it where you love doing it. Normally, they'll tell you if you do a record, everybody's arguing, they're crying in the studio, they have a breakdown, they leave the music industry, you know.
Suing each other,
exactly, there's lots, but we loved every minute, and it's the joy of playing the songs that I think comes out and hopefully will connect to the people.
Yeah, you'll see it tonight. Congratulations on Swing Fever. Tonight you're performing a song from the album for us. Almost Like Being in Love. Sir Rod Stewart, Jules Holland, everyone. Swing Fever is out February 23rd. They're going to perform for us after the break. Stick around.
Hey, hey.